Hello and welcome. This is Forsaken Parents Today. We are on YouTube with Lisa Logan and me, life coach Lee Evans.
All right.
I think you're probably wondering what Forsaken Parents means. Well, it's a new phenomena that is growing larger and larger. And both Lisa and I say it needs to end. It's a situation when one or more of your adult children decide that their mother or father has done something wrong and that they, the adult child, thinks that they should banish or reject that mother or father. Yet, this is the surprising part. Their parents honestly haven't done anything wrong. We're not saying that they've been perfect parents, but they haven't done anything that would warrant being pushed away, rejected, or estranged from those they love. On this program,
Are you
Forsaken
there?
Parents Today, it's our hope to be reading your letters and emails. So if you want Lisa to answer your questions, please send in your emails.
Yes, but don't write to me. Lee, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't hear you.
good. I've been disconnected from you for a while. Okay,
Okay,
but don't
so
but
send
don't
your
send it to
email.
me. Send it to you. Isn't that easier?
Yes, send your emails to its always about love, the number one at gmail.com. And that email will be listed for you in the description underneath this YouTube video. So now let's go to Lisa and see what she has for us today.
No, she doesn't have anything.
Oh, she doesn't have
The
anything.
reason she doesn't have anything is because if she goes to where it's printed, then she has no contact with you. So
Uh,
let's just wing it
we're going to
and be
wing it.
happy that they're here.
Well, I can read the Forsaken Parent one, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so
Can you read both of them?
which one do you want read first? The
First is
Forsaken?
we're doing Forsaken Parents right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm reading this on behalf of Lisa. So please give me a moment to say something that to you may not that you may not want to hear, but it is something that may heal the now painful relationship you have with your adult child and their spouse, and those you care about more than anyone else. Yes, your grandchildren. Unless your adult child and their spouse are physically abusive to their children, your goal in being a part of your family is to help your adult child and their spouse to be better parents. Your goal is not to raise their children because you think you are a better parent than they are. I must admit, I did suffer from this. Actually, you may be a better parent than they are, but that isn't actually what is important to your grandchildren. Lisa, do you want to add something right here?
Well, I don't know. What are you thinking right there?
Well, I'm
I
thinking,
was thinking about what you said about, and I was then thinking about how I really never ever, even though honest, I thought that I would do things differently than my daughter and my son-in-law were doing them, but never let any of that out. It was important not to. I knew that I would be inviting rejection if I did.
okay,
But
that's a good point.
yeah,
So this is remember, I'm reading this for Lisa. So as a psychotherapist who has been in practice for years and years, I have
oh,
never
so
had,
many.
yeah. Lisa says that she's never had one person who has came to her office saying, my grandmother doesn't love me enough and it hurts. She says, no, I have never, ever had one person say that to me. But what her clients have said is the following: my mother doesn't love me and it hurts me terribly. Can you help me? And they say this about their mother or father because it goes along with their chemical makeup. They can't help themselves. It's the way they are made. And if you love your grandchildren, then you will understand the following. You are in your grandchildren's lives for one purpose. Quotation marks, one purpose. You are in your grandchildren's lives to help their parents be better parents. Let me repeat that. You and me are in our grandchildren's lives to help their parents be better parents.
Right.
You
Now,
are not.
I want to say something right there because I'm going to change that. But yes, that's true. That's why you're there. There are other things. So you are also in your grandchildren's lives to love them and to support them through what might be a difficult time in their lives. That's what I did with my grandson. Just said, honey, 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 I love you. Who wouldn't love somebody as wonderful as you? It's true, and it helped because he wasn't getting the love he needed right then. Not because they're bad people, because they were going through a hardship. His mom and dad, my daughter, and son-in-law. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You are not in their lives to take their parents' places.
Right.
The relationship your grandchildren have with their mother and father determines everything about their future.
Amen.
Whether they will fall in love themselves, whether they will be happy, whether they will be successful, and everything else that will give them the happiness they deserve. I say this to you, it is the truth, and there is nothing you can do to change it. So please accept the gift of importance you have been given in their life and stop trying to take their parents' place. Instead, help their parents be better parents. And welcome to Forsaken Parents, men and women who live with a hurt that is worse and beyond anything else they will ever have in their lives. Lisa stated here, I will do everything I can to give you the help you need in order to return to your family. She also states, I understand parental estrangement. I have lived with it, and so have I. So now back to Lisa.
Okay. What are we going to do?
Well, before we started our program, you said to me, you told me that we were going to do focusing on the right parents. So my question is to you, what were you meaning when you said that?
Okay, I can answer that. Listen, it's very likely that the person that your daughter or your son has married is the person who is starting everything and keeping it going. And the reason they do this is because they feel left out. They feel like they're losing their wife or their husband to you. Got it? And you have to, if you're going to reunite with your family, you have to make the person who's causing all of it feel secure and wanted. And what that means, excuse me, is that they need to be given the power to run the show. And you need to let them know that you need them, that they're important, what a wonderful parent they are. Are you saying something, Lisa?
No. No, I wasn't saying. I'm intently listening and taking notes.
Okay, I thought you said something right then. That they've done a good job, and how much you like what they're doing, how well the grandchildren are doing. Go to the movies with them. Go to church with them if they would like, if they're going to church without your son or daughter. What else can you do? Go out and eat. Go out to a restaurant and eat. and if you have the money, pay for their meal. Uh, you just need to begin to be with them without the rest of the family. You know, I've had someone now who was so happy because they were back with their grandchildren and they couldn't help it. They loved them, they tousled their hair, they played with them, and all of a sudden the the mother, this no, it was her daughter who she was talking to. All of a sudden her son-in-law disappeared, just wasn't a part of. Every time she came over, he wasn't there, and the reason that he wasn't was because he was feeling left out, and he had in some ways he was left out. The kids were getting all the attention, and it was a mistake. This mother didn't have enough uh, not enough of a relationship with that family yet to go ahead. Most grandmas come over and play with the kids. I did, but this mother couldn't because it made the daddy, feel insecure. So she had to start over again. And that's something that you're going to know. You're going to start over a lot. It isn't going to work all at one time. It isn't. You have to start over and start over and start over. And Lee and I will be there to help you do that, and we'll give you ways that you can start over again. But you're going to have to do that. Just telling you, it's quite something, and it isn't all right. Everything isn't wonderful right away. You have to undo and make the parent in your life who is the one that's been estranged themselves believes that if you're in the picture, you're taking their place. And do you understand what I'm saying, Lee?
I definitely understand what you're saying.
Okay,
You're being
good.
very clear.
I'm glad because I go, what other words do I need to use? So you've got to make the parent who resents you the most, and that's probably uh, really down deep inside. It's the in-law one. Now, in my case, my daughter did such a good job of resenting me and of resenting me and making me uh, lesser than in the family. But it was really her husband who had started all of it. And he would say, you know, Kimberly, that's what Kim wants right now. But it wasn't. She may have wanted it, but she was doing it to please him. So you have to understand that it's probably your in-law, your son-in-law or your daughter-in-law who has the power. So what was the original question that you asked me to say?
Okay, it was like focusing on the right
Right.
parent.
Okay. I did it.
Yes.
You've got to focus. Whoever's the new one coming in, not your child. You got to focus on them and just be friends with them. Do the best job you can. And if you bring Lee and I into it, we will help you. We will. We'd be happy to do that. So, but it's something important. This is so hard, you guys. Look, my son-in-law has his own issues, and they have nothing at all to do with me. But his insecurity that's disguised as I'm not doing anything. It's Kim. She's doing all of it. She's the one who wants this. No, he's or she, the in-law one, son-in-law or daughter-in-law. They're the ones who started this and secretly keep it going. And you've got to make them feel secure and let them know how much you need them. This is not going to work if you don't. Lee, you got anything?
Well, what you're saying about that, okay, I had someone that I was working with, well,
Uh-huh.
not guiding, just guiding.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, that's working with them, Lee. You are so good, baby. Go ahead. I'm a believer in you. You're in
and
the corner right here. Have to look up there. Go ahead, honey.
and they had a son-in-law, and the son-in-law was making it difficult, so difficult by his reactions or what he was causing to happen with their daughter,
Uh-huh.
that they couldn't even see themselves even being in the position to do that with him because he was being so difficult. And so what I was thinking is the person that I knew that I was guiding had a lot of hurt feelings and resentment towards that son-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
which was making it very hard.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? How does someone work through that?
Don't work through it. Make friends with them.
Don't work
Go to
through
the movies with them.
it. Okay.
Tell them how much you need them. Don't try to work that through.
Okay.
You need to start a relationship. It isn't necessary. Lee, do you have that list of,
I was thinking about that, and I'm going to make
do
some
you have it?
noises here. I hate to do that, but
You have it right there. Can we read it?
the list of the 6 truths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I want to respond to each one.
Okay, I'll read the first one for you.
Uh-huh. I don't have it. I don't know
Okay,
where
this is what we call the 6 truths.
right.
Number 1, your adult child knows exactly what they are doing to you.
Yes, but they're doing it because their spouse, in some manipulative way, wants them to. Okay. Number 2.
Number 2, they know how hurt you are from
Faith, you
what
would
they are
write.
doing to you.
Say that again, honey.
They know how hurt you are from what they are doing to you.
Yeah. But their spouse is more important, and they're doing it in order to please their spouse. They're treating you badly, but they're doing it because underneath it makes their spouse love them, feel vindicated. What's number 3?
Number 3, they're doing it on purpose to you.
Mm-hmm. But they're really doing it because of their spouse. It's what their spouse wants. Number 4.
Number 4, they can stop anytime they want to.
Yeah, as long as their spouse is satisfied. The spouse is in total control. Number 5.
Number 5, but they do it to impress someone else.
Yep. That line probably should be someone else. Who can that be? I promise you, for 99.999% of you, it's their spouse. That's who they're doing it for. Number whatever.
6. Number 6, your strength is in accepting these truths.
Did I say your strength is
Your
in
strength.
accepting these truths?
Truth,
Okay.
that's right.
That's a really excellent 5-point with one more added list. It shocked me when I read it, and I read it again and again. It isn't my list originally, and I don't know who wrote it, but I am so grateful for it. But I mean, I was busy always saying, my daughter couldn't possibly know what she's doing. She wouldn't hurt me this way. And I believed that. We were so close before this all started. But this started when my son in law began to talk about what he saw in me and how he wanted his family to be, which was his wife and him, bad English, are going to be the parents and no one else is. Gosh, I know you've heard this story, most of you. The baby's 3 weeks old. I'm holding the baby on my lap, in my arms, and going, little precious, precious baby, I love you so much. Oh, honey, Grandma's so pleased that you're here. My son-in-law, Dave, walks up to me and says, I'll take him now. That was a very strange thing for him to say, don't you think? Yes. But I went, okay, sure, of course, here you are. And he took the baby into the next room, left the door open, and I imagine he wasn't sitting down. He was standing up, holding his child himself. And these are his words. He said, you are ours, your mother's and mine. No one else will ever love you the way we do. Oh, and I'm sure he said it 5 more ways. But that was the gist of what he was saying to a tiny infant. And guess what? It wasn't the infant that he was saying it to. It was me. He wanted me to hear. And duh, I thought it, what a strange thing for him to say to a baby. He wasn't. And I really didn't want to know that. I was just glad to have my grandchild born. That's all. And I knew enough to stay out of their way and to, let them be the parents. I was all for it. And Dave has always been a good parent. And my daughter Kim has always been a good parent. There are some things that they do that I don't agree with, but so what? What they do that's very, very important is they love their children. They love them. So, am I answering something or did I go way far off?
No,
Lee?
you are. It was a
I
good
know Lee's writing right now. I know she is. You have a job here to respond, Lee.
No, I wasn't really taking notes. I was actually listening to
Okay,
it.
babe. I'm playing with you anyway.
I know.
See, I think Lee is just the greatest. And she's better than anybody I could have brought in with you all. And she's an estranged parent. Yay. No, it's terrible for her, but it's wonderful for us because she knows what you're going through, as do I. And I don't know. I'd like to recommend that if you're going to see a therapist, that you find a therapist who has been an estranged parent. They will understand what you're going through. Okay, Lee, are we done? Do you
Yes, we
think?
are.
Okay. Are we going to sing a song or?
Well, first, I want to tell our YouTube watchers, write to us. And the email again is its always about love, the number 1 @gmail.com. I will list it down in the description area. We will be back tomorrow. So until then, remember, we care and love you.
Oh, true. Listen, Lee, the letters that I got, I guess I have about 14 of them. I'm sorry. I'll get them to you just as quickly as I can. And then Well, that's why I'm letting you know we're not answering. A few of you sent, the purpose of your letter was to ask what's going on. And I'm sorry. I just found them. They were next to my video. I don't mean I found them physically, they were online. So I'll get them to you, Lee, and then we'll work them in.
Okay,
Okay?
sounds good.
And I'm saying that so the rest of you know why we haven't addressed your notes yet to us.
So I guess we'll say good night to everyone, and we will start answering emails and notes tomorrow.
Good.
Okay? Do you want to sing as an outro?
Do I want to sing
Yes.
and leave them with, no, I've got a good voice. No, I do have a good voice though. But what I want to say to you is that we love you and we know what you're going through. We sure do. We really do. I'm sorry it's happening to you, but I honestly believe spiritually that there's a reason for it. I believe that my daughter someday will grow, need to grow. It will finally come to her face to face, and same with my son in law. But his issues are not with me, they're with his mom and dad when he was 13 years old. So I'm just saying it, and it's true for you too. You need to figure out, Lee, maybe that's what we need to do tomorrow. Help our listeners, our watchers, figure out who it is in their life that's caused all this. We can do that.
We sure can.
You all can do it. So, I don't know. Just thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Lee, I love you a lot.
Love you too.
Yeah, but I love you the most.
Oh, I believe it.
Do you, babe?
Yes,
That's
I do.
nice. Oh, really? That's nice.
Good night, Lisa. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, and good night to the rest of you. See you tomorrow.